Hey family, what if I told you that in the early 1800s that American white men and European men believed that it was their God-given purpose to take over and to infiltrate land? Well, that is what Manifest Destiny is all about. Manifest Destiny was created by white European and American men to justify stealing land, expanding their power, and controlling people they saw as inferior. It wasn't about progress and it wasn't about civilization, y'all. It was literally about taking by force what did not belong to them. So, from the Native American land grabs to the Mexican American War, Manifest Destiny was a political weapon used to erase entire races and cultures of people, to enslave people, you all, and to build wealth for white men. I'm not making this up, you all. This is the history that they do not want you to be taught. As the young folks say, Google it. Manifest Destiny. I'm not. I know some of y'all think this crazy lady with the big lips on TikTok and YouTube is sitting here teaching stuff. She's making it up. No, I promise you, this is history, American history. So let's get deeper into it. The kicker is that this whole Manifest Destiny ideology and thought process didn't just stop in 1800s, y'all. The same mindset that justified Manifest Destiny still influences America today. So let's just break it down real quick. What exactly is Manifest Destiny? It was an idea used first in 1845 by a journalist by the name of John L. O'Sullivan. He claimed it was America's God-given right to expand to North America. Truly, he felt like it was God, the Holy One, the God of love, to have these white men rape, pillage, and kill other people so they can take their land. Sound like God to you? Okay, let's be clear. This was not a casual belief, y'all. It was a strategy, a mindset that white men used to justify taking land and destroying entire cultures. See, it's easy when you think that you are the chosen one to do it. So it takes the guilt away and it makes you say, okay, well, these people are really not human, right? So I can take their land, I can enslave them, okay? So let's talk about how white men believed they were superior. White Americans believed there, and again, y'all, if the shoe don't fit, don't take it. Don't white folks start emailing and commenting, talking about I'm racist. Because first of all, you don't understand the definition of racism if you think me, little black me with the big lips, is racist. Okay. White Americans believe their civilization, religion, and values were better than those of indigenous people, Mexicans, and black Americans. It's always the great white savior coming to save, oh, the poor little Africans need our white Jesus. Why would we want your white God? With your white God, all he's ever done is rape, pillage, take, enslave, oppress. Come on now. Also, white men saw non-white people as uncivilized, unworthy, and in need of white control. They thought expansion was their destiny. See, many white men believed that God had chosen them to take over the land. Sound like Elon and Trump, don't it? Sound like Project 2025, doesn't it? That same spirit, Hitler had that spirit. So many other leaders, or I put in parentheses, leaders, have that same spirit. The takeover spirit, Putin. Many of the white men, they thought that this wasn't just arrogance. It was a religious justification for conquest. If you can stamp God on something, it takes away your guilt because you're saying, no, God told me to do it. In their minds, if God wanted them to expand, then it didn't matter who was already living there, y'all. They used democracy as an excuse. They claimed they were spreading freedom and democracy, but in reality, y'all, what are they doing? Indigenous people weren't given no freedom. They were massacred. Okay? I talked yesterday about the Trail of Tears. Then Mexicans weren't given democracy. They were stripped of their land and rights. And black Americans weren't given a choice. They were enslaved and exploited. Boy, sure sounds like the love of God there, doesn't it? Come on, y'all, wake up. For them, land equaled power equaled more control. The ultimate goal was always land and resources. The more land white men controlled, the more wealth and political power they had. Everything else, religion, democracy, civilization, was just a cover story. So, what do we do now, y'all? Let's go back. Reading my notes, y'all. All right. We already talked about the Native Americans, how millions of acres were stolen from them. Actually, Native Americans today own less than 2%, of the land that they had inherited because the white man took it. Literally ran them off their land. Listen to my last video on Trail of Tears. Also, the Native Americans massacred, forced removal, cultural destruction, and they put them on reservations, which still exist today, y'all. White men didn't have to take their land. They stole their entire civilization. Let's talk about Mexicans, second-class citizens in their own land. After losing almost half its territory, Mexico's people became foreigners overnight. White Americans took their land, their businesses, and rights. Even today, Mexican Americans face systemic discrimination, wage gaps, and racial profiling. And if you think that it all ended in the 1800s, you better think again. What about U.S. policy today? Manifest Destiny is still alive today, y'all. The U.S. has a history of invading other countries under the idea of spreading democracy. Isn't that what Trump wants to do over there and with the Palestinians? He wants to do ethnic cleansing. Come on, y'all. It's the same spirit. It's still roaming the land. He wants to make the Gaza Strip, like a resort? But no, and all they think is democracy. How ethnocentristic America is to think that everything that we do is so anointed by God and everybody else is some heathen, destitute land that needs their white Jesus. Let's talk about invading other countries. The Iraq War, U.S. intervention in Latin America, ongoing economic colonialism in Africa. America still acts like it has the right to take what it wants. Lord have mercy. Let's talk about gentrification. That is a modern land grab, y'all. Wealthy white developers push out black and brown communities and take over neighborhoods. Prices go up, businesses are replaced, and people are forced to leave their homes. It sound familiar? I'm from the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, DMV. I grew up in Seat Pleasant, Maryland. My husband's from Southeast D.C. And when we start seeing certain areas, certain hoods where they building, if you see a Starbucks coming up, we know white folk is coming. The white man cometh. Let's talk about even space exploration. The next manifest destiny. Look at people like Elon Musk. Some billionaires talk about colonizing Mars, just like white men colonized America. There's not no more territory down here to colonize. So someone like an Elon Musk, who's so used to living in the apartheid type of ideology, mentality, pathology, psychology, and all the other G's, he's like, what else? Well, I've conquered everything on Earth. Let me go up in space and colonize the Martians. Dumbass. All right. So, but who will have access to the colonizing in space? You know who will. Rich white men. So, what are my final thoughts, y'all? Manifest Destiny was never about destiny. It was about power. It was about greed and the destruction of entire communities. So, what do you think? What do you think? Do you still see Manifest Destiny in today's world? Should the U.S. acknowledge and repair the harm it caused? Are they able to? And how do you stop this mindset from continuing, you all? So, drop some comments for me. Let me know what you think. Hey, continue to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel. Hey, my Venmo is there listed, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee. It takes time to do this research. I'm not begging for no money because I'm taken care of by my man and the good Lord and my own businesses. But it's always good to get a little extra. All right, talk to you soon. Be blessed. Bye. Love y'all.